looking at, Nubsy? That's a big old snake right there. Oh, I'm not gonna mess with you, honey. You just keep on going. So I'm taking apart my raised beds because it's going to be the fastest way to get all the soil out. I can just take the tractor, scoop it all up, haul it away. These raised beds are super easy to put together. You can put them together in just a few minutes. And because there's no screws, there's nothing like that, you can take them apart pretty easy. So pull them apart, take out the dirt, put them back in, and then we can move on to the next phase. All right, we've got quite a mess here. But I got all the bad dirt out. Now it's time to start trying to put everything back together.
Hey, you. Hey, you. Huh? What am I doing? Huh?
There's a crawfish, so he's so mad that he couldn't get it, that he came out of the water.
Hello friends, so as you saw, I have been working in the garden a lot over the past, well, almost a week. About a week. I went through and removed not only all of the soil that we put into the beds, but several inches of original dirt that was underneath as well, along with a lot of rocks and all of that. Then I came through, I have a couple of weed torches. I went ahead and I charred the wood. You can see it's a lot darker now. You can see the grain of the wood really well. And I did that for two reasons. One, to burn off any residue that might still be on the wood. But then also charring the wood like this makes it a little more weather resistant. It's kind of an old method of preserving wood. We came through, reinstalled all of the trellises, and so now I'm painting. I like to paint my T-posts. They're just cheerful to me to have a little bit of color in the garden. And in Alabama, I had painted them all, well, I didn't paint them all, but I painted most of them blue, pale blue and pale green. And that's what I'm doing. I have a lot of posts that were new in the garden, and I've got a variety of paints here. And so I'm just going to be painting some T-posts. The first ones I'm going to paint are these ones right here. When I ran out of spray paint earlier, I grabbed some purple. I didn't like the purple. So I'm going to go ahead and paint these first. Now, I didn't paint these all the way down to the ground because I do have beans in here. I only painted close to the ground because I didn't want to completely paint my beans. I did get a little paint on them, but that won't hurt them. They'll bounce back from that. I didn't completely cover up the leaves. We're going to go turquoise. All right, so Mr. Smith was walking the dogs. And I know, yes, we live out in the middle of nowhere, but he still walks the dogs. We started doing that when we got the puppy because, you know, you got to walk puppies, especially high energy ones. And he was out here walking down the road and he saw something and he thought, y'all might like to see it. If creepy crawlies creep you out, you might want to look away for a minute. Here, just for reference, there's my shoe. So you can see how big that thing is. Yeah, it's spider season in Arkansas. Nope, no milk dud. Not for you. Nope, nope, nope. No tarantulas for you. All right, so spider interlude aside, I'm going to get back to painting these posts. So the beds that we emptied, not only did we remove all of the soil and then the, added soil down below it, but I've gone ahead and I've put down a layer of wood ash, some, hardwood ash from our wood burning stove that we still had. And then before the new soil goes in, I'm also going to layer down cardboard underneath there, and then I'm going to put in some mushroom compost. And so, we've removed every bit of the soil that we possibly can, but I just want to kind of put a barrier in between the new soil and the ground, just as kind of an added buffer. Of course, it's going to take more soil to fill them this time around than it did last time because I dug down so far. So there's a lot more cubic space to be filled, but that's all right. As long as this garden starts growing once we plant again, I'll be happy. All right, so another thing that did this week, which I don't have on video, I don't think, is I installed, I do have video of me planting this asparagus. I had a cinder block asparagus bed in our front garden in Alabama, and the asparagus grew really well this way. And so I decided to just go ahead and replicate that. A cinder block bed is super easy to put together. Pretty cost effective. Cinder blocks are just like $2 and change. And so I went ahead and Put in all sorts of good soil. Planted my asparagus crowns, which I got from my gardener. And then because the cinder blocks, have those openings in them, I went ahead and I filled almost every single square with potting soil and put all sorts of lovely things in there. Now this one I planted some seeds in. I put some yarrow seeds in there. We'll see if anything comes up. They were kind of old seeds. But we've got cosmos. We've got some lemon thyme, another cosmo. I think that was English thyme or winter thyme. Cosmo. I have lots of cosmos. Tricolor sage. This is an apricot lemonade cosmo. This is one of those things I don't remember what it is. Actually, I think this was savory. Now that I think about it, kitchen savory. Cosmo, zinnia. This is one of my starts I picked up. This is golden tipped marjoram. Cosmo. I'll have to think about what this one is called. Cosmo. We've got some purple basil, garden sage, more basils, well, lots of basil. We've got some lavender back there, more sages, more thymes, more sage, more thyme. I had a lot of sage and thyme starts, so I just kind of went and loaded this thing up because you can't go wrong with a bunch of herbs, right? This is a flower that I picked up at Sharam's Nursery in Fort Smith. I stuck the tag in here. Hold on. Skyvolia hybrid, whatever that is. I don't know. All I know is it's heat tolerant and drought tolerant or drought resistant. So I figure you can't go wrong with that for a summer flower, right? And it's kind of cool. I actually have another one in a slightly different shade of purple that I'm going to plant somewhere too. And then this one right here I have not planted yet. I don't know what I'm going to put in there. Maybe just some seeds. I've got lots of seeds. And then you saw me planting in this bed. This is the one bed that I left the original soil in. I have squash plants, zucchini plants specifically, Black Beauty, I believe, and I'm gonna just leave these in here, see what happens. Will they survive? I don't know. I'm not sure. So far, they're looking pretty good. I have this sunshade for when it's really hot and sunny. I go ahead and I shade them because, they appreciate that. But then over on the other side, I just loaded it up with sunflower seeds. Gobs and gobs of sunflower seeds. I may come back and actually put some corn over on this side in between the zucchinis, just for good measure, because why not? and the corn and the sunflowers, if they all grow, they'll shade the zucchini. And, zucchini and yellow squash and things like that, they do really well when you plant them by tall things because they appreciate the shade. So we'll see how this goes. And I do actually still have a tricolor sage in here that I never moved. I might go ahead and move that and get that out of the way and stick that. Actually, I might stick that in that empty square that's left in that cinder block bed. But I had lots of other questions about the garden, and I'll talk more as time goes on, answer more questions. But I think for today, we're just going to go ahead and wrap this up because it is getting very dark. The sun is long past the mountain, and the mosquitoes are starting to come out. So I've got bug spray on, but they still like to buzz. And I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet. So that is it for today, folks. Thanks for spending time with me here again at the Mountain Homestead. My name is Constance from Cosmopolitan Cornbread, and I'll talk to y'all next time.